Check out thechosenprime.com in the link in the description below for this and other great items. Welcome everyone to another Radio Free Cybertron review. I'm your host Diecast, and today we have Fans Toys FT-09 Tesla, which is their not Perceptor. You can see the artwork on the front, very nice. On the side of the box you just have Tesla, FT-09, Fans Toys logo. On top you have the Microscope mode, Tesla on this side, Microscope on that side, Tesla on this side, Microscope on that side, and on the back you have Microscope, Robot mode, Fans Toys 2015, www.fanstoys.com. I don't think that website actually works. I've tried it. I tried it a couple days ago and it didn't work. There's a QR code on here too, so I haven't tried that. Have to try that and see what it has. See what pops up. Choking hazard, made in China. Recommended for ages 15 up. Collectors. And there you have nice shiny box. Inside the box we have nice styrofoam taped all the way around with Fans Toys tape. They definitely do a good job with packaging. The instructions right on top. There's a little Fans Toys card. We'll get that out of the package for you to look at. And again, there's nice art. And on the back there's a little bio, which I don't know if you're going to be able to read. And then some tech specs. And a couple 10s on here. Obviously intelligence is probably going to be one of the 10s. I can't read it, but I'm pretty sure, since he's smart and all. And then the instructions, which this guy's fairly easy to transform. So the instructions help, but it's just one of those things where you just gotta go for it. And you can see here, I thought maybe, and a lot of people said online, that flipping the head around might help. I found that, and we'll get into it in the transformation, that flipping the head around actually makes it harder to transform rather than easier. At least for me, that was my experience. Really like the care that Fans Toys has taken with their packaging. They've definitely come a long way since Scoria. Or actually, they're not Shockwave, Shock. And then also in the box you have these extra pieces. We'll take one of these out, and these are just the lighter color as opposed to the brighter blue. I actually like the brighter blue. It may not be 100% show accurate, but I like it, and some people have had a hard time swapping these out, so I'm not really interested in doing that. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is and roll with that. So put those right back in there. No need to mess around with them. And you can see how it comes in packaging. Just real nice job how they protect it as much as they can. Put that off to the side, and let's get back to Tesla. Now, robot mode looks pretty nice. Really happy to have this figure in hand. It's not a 10 for me, just because of the face sculpt. It's an okay face sculpt. It's a little too human, and the eyes are a little bit too big for my taste. Zoom in on there. You can see that that chin should actually be a lot wider down at the bottom. It shouldn't be as skinny as it is. But all in all, he looks really nice. So definitely 9 out of 10 for the robot mode. Not too much for paint apps. There are some paint apps in here. I added the Autobot logo on this center, which looks really nice when you put this piece of glass up. Just having it behind the glass there makes it look official. As far as the guns, something I did want to point out too before we actually get into the transformation is you can see his thumb is actually curled around the top of the gun. This is kind of amazing to me because I really can't think of a figure that does it as well as him. A lot of the figures, when you put the gun in the hand, the thumb has to be facing down or something that doesn't look natural. But he has a really nice way being able to hold his gun in his hand the proper way. So, just go ahead and get his gun out of his hand. There is a tab right here, but it doesn't hold in by the tab. You really need the fingers to support this gun. And just to give you a look at the gun, really nice, no lighting feature. A little bit of blue up here, some silver, some more silver. Just a standard gun. But I do like it. And it's based off the G1 character's gun or toy's gun. And this is his other gun. That piece does come out if you don't want to have it look like he's firing, which is a nice option to have. The red is definitely a lot darker on the tip, but it doesn't really bother me. That's all the paint on that. So let's go ahead and get into articulation on this guy. Really nice, everything you've come to expect from Fans Toys. Arms can go all the way out. They stay excellent. They rotate. Swivel at the upper bicep. And double hinged elbows. So you can make him all giddy. And then down at the bottom, you have, it almost feels like a very soft ratchet on the legs. If you move this hip skirt up, everything on this guy is really tight. If you move that hip skirt up, you can get the leg up just a little bit higher. It can go back about that far. This front hip skirt does go up, but not on the back. So his leg can go a little bit further up in the front if you wanted to. The knee is on a ratchet. He's got a rotation at the upper part, like right at that universal joint, and a rotation, a ratcheted rotation down at underneath the knee. Same thing on this side, and then the foot has really nice ankle pivot, and due to transformation, his heel can come in and his toe can come in. So awesome, awesomely posable. And of course, the one thing I forgot is he does have a ratcheted waist swivel. Just like I said, as far as robot mode goes, definitely a 9 out of 10. I don't have the problem that a lot of people have where his arm pops out really easy. I mean, it will come out if I pull on it, but it stays in there for me just fine with normal arm movement. It's not popping it out. So, and then the head is also on a swivel and can look up and down. So, not a ball joint, which I think is a good thing. I much prefer how this head's put on as opposed to some other heads that are all on ball joints. So, let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. It is a pretty simple transformation. On the hands, come in here, open these panels. If you can't get in there to open those panels, just flip his hand around. That'll give you access to that little hole, that little groove to get your finger in there. Then with the hands, you do have to mind the thumb. Just make sure the thumb is in as far as possible. Just like so. And then flip in the hand. There's only one way that I found that the hand can go in, so you just want to make sure the back of his hand is the last thing to go in. And then close up that panel. Same thing on this side. Open this hand up. Put the thumb down. Oops. Thumb's on a ball joint. So of course that's the first time it popped out. Yeah, I'm on video. Let's keep popping out. There we go. Like I said, that first time I had it pop out, and of course it's got to be when I'm recording. And just collapse the fingers onto the thumb. Open this panel up. Rotate this around. And then just rotate his hand in. And make sure it wants to close. Come on. There we go. Alright, now that we got the hands done, come back to here. On the back here, this pegs in, his periscope pegs in right there. Periscope or microscope or whatever scope you want to call it. This is on a sliding hinge, so you can go up or down. We'll get to that further in the transformation. We're going to pop these arms open and flip this whole assembly down, and we want to collapse this piece in. You want to use 2 fingers to do it because it's so tight. You want to apply equal pressure on both sides just to avoid any problems down the line. And then the head goes in about that far from what the instructions say. You don't want to push it all the way in because then this is going to have a hard time closing back up. Then we're going to turn the arms around. Just straighten these out for a second here. And we're going to rotate these in. And if you did everything right, these will just clear. It looks like I got lucky and I had them just at the right angle. And then I found if you angle these arms up just a little bit, when you start to flip in this back panel, it's kind of hard to show. You can push the head in just a little bit more and then just kind of squeeze everything in all at the same time. And it all kind of pops in. And then I try and pull the arms up just a little bit just to help get them in that tab. And then close it all up. And there you have it. As you can see, they're pretty straight. It's not a great feel transforming it. It does transform okay. The only reason I'm being critical is because it's Fans Toys and because they've given us such a nice product recently. I think this could have been a little bit better for Fans Toys standards. And for the standards that we have come to expect from Fans Toys now. But I just want to say I'm not being hard on this guy, but I don't think it's 100% what I'm used to seeing from Fans Toys. Still a really nice figure, and I'm really happy to have it. But just to put that out there, the next thing you want to do, I find it easy if you kind of rotate the hands down to the back, just like so, and angle them out. It's easier to bring in the microscope piece. Make sure this is all the way slid up on the back panel. So pull that all the way up, and then you can align the holes with the piece. Kind of get it in front there. And then straighten everything out. And that's the easiest way I've found to get the microscope in. Come around to the front, we can pull this down. I'm going to wait to pull that down until the end. But let's go ahead and go to the legs. The legs are pretty simple. Fold up the feet. There's this panel right back here. And this is also one of those panels that's very tight. And I hope you have nails to kind of get in there and pull that down. And it's another piece you want to exercise caution with. I don't think it's going to break. But just because it's so tight, see, that side's a little bit looser. And maybe over time that might loosen up. But you can see it's maybe you can't see. And I don't remember having this much trouble with it the first time. But there we go. Just getting that first little just wiggle room. You can try the Megatron theory. Just keep moving this back and forth. Hopefully that'll loosen it up a little bit. I don't know if that'll work or not, but definitely give that a try. It doesn't lock in anywhere, it just kind of flips down. So that's all you do. Then for the legs, if you're going to rotate this around, which helps probably if you lift up this skirt just a little bit, rotate that around. And what you're going to do is there's a peg hole right there that goes into that peg right there. So once you get that up and rotate it around, bring this skirt piece down and then line it up with the hole, and it'll go in just like that. That actually went pretty easy. The first time I did this, it gave me a little bit of trouble. So again, just rotate the leg around. Bring this hip piece all the way down, and there it is. It just locks in just like that. And the legs, rotate these around, and then when you bring these around, there's another peg and a hole right there. There we go. Same thing on this side. Just like that. And I'll bring the camera down. And there you have Perceptor in his microscope mode. This does come out just like that, just turning that dial right up there. These dials also turn, but they don't do anything, the ones on the side of the hands. And the microscope actually works, so you can put an item on his tray and examine it, which is really nice. I really like that little added feature that it works as a microscope. And then if you want, if you prefer, there are treads for him as well, which you open these panels and there are the treads right there. Same thing on this side. Open this panel, straighten that out. And the reason I'm straightening that out is there are wheels in here. Let's see if I can flick these out. They're another thing, they're kind of hard to get at, but try a screwdriver just to get them out just a little bit once they start to come out. They're pretty easy. Then you can close up these panels and they don't tab in or anything. The wheels don't tab in or anything. And these wheels, out of everything that's really tight on this, the treads are the only thing that's not, this hinge is not tight at all. So they kind of bend in a little bit. And that's, you know, not what I would expect from Fans Toys, so that's just another area that these panels don't really go in. If you keep them flat, the wheels kind of can rest on them, but they're just not 100% straight. They're kind of bent in just a hair. So then on the back here, on his butt, there's a little wheel that'll flip out, and then he will roll. Excellent. And then if you want, we'll do a little rotation here. Pull these legs up. I'll pull these flaps all the way up just for now. Rotate the waist around. Then you can bring this down. You could even bring this wheel up if you want, because it's no longer doing anything. And this can be a cannon. I think they had Bumblebee holding it here. I don't have Bumblebee, but put like Shock Blast in there. He can be using the cannon. Or you can kind of make it like a tank. If you wanted the tank look, you can close up these chrome pieces, and there you have tank. And it doesn't lock in, but just to give you a little show of how it would look. Would have been really cool if something in here could have pegged into these legs. That would have held everything all together. But then you would have had the problem about the wheel. I guess you could flip this all around. Let's see if we can do this without taking up too much time. No, I want the wheel the other way. Because surprisingly enough, there is another tab on the other side of the leg. So if you flip the legs around, we're innovating. We're trying stuff. We're gonna make probably nothing work. Yeah, it's just because of the way the legs are. This top piece won't rotate all the way up. So you can get the legs the other way, but they kind of angle in a little bit. I was just thinking if you could rotate that around. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. So now we're in a configuration where this wheel is on the bottom, which kind of acts as the back wheel for the tank. And then you could just bring this waist piece around again. just like that. And that gives him his back wheel, so he can be a functional tank, even though he's even less locked in than before, just because we undid him at the hips. Undid him at the skirt pieces. But there you go. There's another tank mode. And it does work. It does roll. You just have to try and prop his back up again, so it's not rolling on the ground. But there you go. And I just realized we forgot to do a size comparison. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy transformed, and then we'll come back and do some size comparisons. Before we come back and do the size comparisons, I was just transforming this guy back into robot mode, and I wanted to give you another place to kind of exercise some caution. It's this panel right here. It's super tight, and when you have it all the way flipped in just like that, when you're gonna, come back, bring this up, you have to flip this panel up to allow this wheel to have clearance to go in. So do not pull from this side, which is up by his upper thigh, because there is no joint there. The joint is actually right there. So you want to make sure, because it's so tight, and you can hear the squeak in the plastic, you want to make sure you pull from this side. If you pull from this side, I have a feeling that this might snap, but as long as you pull from this side, you'll be okay, no problems. And then you can just flip the wheel in, flip the tread in, and then rotate that back around. And it doesn't lock in anywhere, but it's so tight, it stays really nice. So I'll go ahead and finish transforming this guy so we can get back to the comparison. Okay, so here for the size comparison, here you have MP10, Tesla, and Bumblebee, just to give you a range of how this guy fits in. And I think he fits in quite nice. Definitely a nice addition to your Masterpiece collection. I don't know anyone else that's going to give us a Masterpiece Perceptor. Will someone eventually? Maybe. But right now, I really don't think anyone else is coming out with one of these. Definitely Fans Toys is on top of the third-party game. And even though I was a little hard on this figure, I can definitely still recommend this figure. He is an excellent figure. Make sure you check out thechosenprime.com to pick up yours in the link in the description below. As always, check out Radio Free Cybertron on Facebook, YouTube, everything you can imagine. Check me out on Twitter. I'm at Diecast2. See you guys later. See you at the next review.